We have entered the last month of the summer 2025 transfer window, and Real Madrid still have a lot to do, but the problem is typically Real Madrid don't tend to do a lot in August. Like when you look at purchases, typically Real Madrid tend to buy players very, very early in the transfer window. Like for example, Mbappe last year was picked up very, very early. Like we literally won the Champions League and then the following day we announced Kylian Mbappe. Typically, Real Madrid tend to do their business very, very early. This year, they've done their business very, very early. The Club World Cup might be a reason, but even without the Club World Cup, Real Madrid was going to sign these players and bring them in before pre-season, because that's typically how the club operates. It's what they've done for a while. They don't buy players while pre-season's kicked off or while the season's kicked off if they can help it. Obviously, sometimes other teams at the negotiation table tend to be a bit difficult, like Gareth Bale's situation where he arrived a bit later in the transfer window, but usually Real Madrid want to wrap up purchases and transfers very, very early. Departures are different. Departures Real Madrid are happy to do at any point in the window. Like looking at some big high-profile departures over the years, way back, of many years ago, Robinho, when he left and he went to Man City, that was done very late in the window. A few years, not as far back, but also still quite far back, Mesut Ozil, when he went to Arsenal, that was also very, very late into the window. So typically that is how they operate, but there are three problems, three things that I think need to be addressed in this upcoming month. And we're going to start with the Vinicius and Rodrygo situation. Now, I don't want to spend too much time on their situation because I've already made a whole video about it. But the gist of it is basically Rodrygo's situation needs to be settled, and we need a definitive. Right now, the player is on holiday and I don't think there's any talks going on with the club. But once he returns, we need clarification very, very early as to what is happening with him. If he is in fact leaving, Real Madrid need to decide if they're bringing someone in. I do think if a player of his quality and profile leaves the club, then someone else similar needs to be brought in. And that is a big transfer. And I know, like I said, Real Madrid don't typically make those big transfers. But if he's also not leaving and if he's going to stay for another season or for whatever longer, then that also needs to be communicated so the player can buckle down and focus on his football and get rid of these distractions. And the same thing with Vini. Vini's situation, we need to sort his contract out. Whether he signs a new contract or Real Madrid decide, no, we're not giving you a new contract, or whatever happens. Obviously, we want him to sign. But whatever happens, it needs to happen soon and quick so that the player, instead of worrying about his contract, instead of worrying about the negotiation table, and instead of worrying about what might happen off the football pitch, he can focus fully on football and what he does for the club on the pitch. Moving on, we have Endrick. Endrick's in a very, very strange position because he came into Real Madrid at the same time as Kylian Mbappe. He was signed way earlier, but he wasn't 18. He arrived in the same summer as Kylian Mbappe. And the problem for Endrick was, at the time, no one knew where Mbappe was going to play, where Vini and Rodrygo were going to play, how they would operate. But everyone knew that those three would be playing. So where would Endrick play? So now some did theorize that he would be the 9 and Mbappe and Vini would somehow figure it out on the left and right, and then Rodrygo would fit in somewhere as well. But that hasn't happened. Mbappe has taken the number 9 slot. He has taken the central position, and Endrick is getting very, very, very minimal game time. And for a player of his quality, ability and talent, he should not be playing as little as he is for the age he's at. At 18, 19, you do not be playing only cup games every once a month or every few weeks. That's just, you need to be playing more. You need to be playing a lot more. Now, it's even worse, because now with Gonzalo Garcia looking like he might be getting promoted to the first team permanently and staying at Real Madrid this season, and having had a phenomenal Club World Cup, and Xabi Alonso definitely showing that he's definitely willing to use him and does like him, it means it's just more issues and more problems for Endrick. Because now, are you even further behind in the pecking order and now the third choice striker? Or are you still second? I don't know. I can't answer that. I don't even know if Xabi Alonso can currently answer that, because Endrick hasn't even trained yet. He hasn't trained Endrick once because the poor guy's been injured since Alonso's been there. So where he is in the pecking order, we just don't know. But with his injury, he's definitely going to be behind, because Gonzalo Garcia is there and able to fight for his place while Endrick is still trying to get back onto the training pitch. I do think the best move for Endrick is a loan move, because right now his development is stagnant. It is just flatlining. It's not moving. He should be shooting up. He should be getting regular game time, and he should be getting better. If you look at Vini, Vini's the prime example. Vini arrived when he was 18, but he was playing regularly. Vini has only turned into what he is today because of the fact that he was playing regularly at Real Madrid. And that's only because we've never really had a proper left winger. We had Hazard for a little bit, but Hazard was injured or wasn't good enough. So Vini's not really ever had any real competition at left mid. So he's kind of been able to get a whole bunch of game time. I think Vini, in terms of game time and matches played for Real Madrid by like 21 or 22, I can't remember how old it was, or even 20, he was only behind Raul, I think. Maybe, or was it Casillas? It was one of those two, or maybe those two. That's it. That shows how many games Vini was playing for Real Madrid, even at very, very young. Endrick is nowhere near those numbers. Endrick needs to play, he needs game time, and for that he needs to go on loan. So he needs to figure that out, and he needs to get spoken to if he doesn't know that already, and he needs to go out on loan to a big club. And it also helps his World Cup chances. Look, if he doesn't go to the World Cup, I don't lose anything. It makes no difference to me. But as a Real Madrid fan, I would love it if a young player for my team, a 19-year-old who's showing a whole bunch of promise and has a whole bunch of expectations placed on him, goes to the World Cup and gets his experience at a big international tournament for a big team, a big national team like Brazil. That would be massive for him, and in turn be massive for Madrid. And that will only happen, or is more likely to happen, if he's playing regularly, which he won't at Real Madrid. So Endrick, I do think, needs to go out on loan. And the final thing, Real Madrid still need one more centre-back. We still need to sign one more centre-back. Now, whether that one more centre-back is a Konate, a Saliba, a whoever else, I don't know. Like, those two are unrealistic. Those two aren't happening. Saliba's got 2 years left on his contract, and Arsenal won't sell him for anything besides a ridiculous bid that Real Madrid aren't putting in this summer. And Konate, similar. He's got a year left on his contract, but Liverpool, just like with Trent, they're happy to utilise the player. There's no one else they can pick up. Why would you get rid of him? Why not just use him for a year and gain more? And the chance of him renewing is still there on the table. So those two are very, very unlikely, but their likelihood shouldn't change the fact that Real Madrid need another centre-back. Eder Militao is coming back from a big injury, and whether he relapses again and does another knee, the poor guy only has 2 knees, but with his luck, he's going to somehow end up damaging a 3rd knee. So with him just coming back, and with everyone being unsure of what level he's going to hit or how long it's going to take him to reach the level he needs to get to, with Alaba being inconsistent since he's returned and also being constantly injured, like his body's just breaking apart since his injury. The poor guy can't stay fit for more than a couple weeks, and Antonio Rudiger kind of getting on in age and needing more rest. Real Madrid are left with Dean Howson at centre-back, Asensio, who looked very, very, very shaky at the Club World Cup as centre-back, and Antonio Rudiger as the only natural centre-backs in the team. And then you have Tchouaméni, who can drop back there, but Tchouaméni, if Alonso doesn't play 5-back, he's a midfielder. So Real Madrid need one more centre-back signing. It needs to be addressed. It's a problem area in the team, and it's probably the only other area in the team that really needs. It's the only other signing we need to make. We're set in attack. Our midfield is fine. We need another centre-back. Even fullbacks. It's been a minute since Real Madrid fans could say this, but even at fullbacks, we're okay in terms of profile. We have decent players for fullbacks. But at centre-back, we are still lacking, and we need another. Anyway, those are the things I think Madrid need to figure out in this month. But will they? I don't think so. The only ones I see kind of happening is maybe Rodrygo getting sold, and that's it. Actually, I was going to say Endrick may be leaving, but no, I don't even see Endrick leaving. The only one I kind of really see happening is Rodrygo getting sold. I don't see Vini signing a new contract. I don't see Endrick leaving, and I don't see another player coming in. But anyway, Madrid. Anyway, I'm going to call it there. Thanks for watching, and peace.